Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Violet Evergarden episode 4. So, just coming from episode 3, if you didn't notice, I didn't change clothes at all. I watch these typically two at a time. So, yeah, I mean, last episode we had Violet taking her classes to try to graduate, and basically, she didn't have to take them to be an auto memory doll, but she took them to try to learn more because she was having issues with her letters. At first, she failed, even though she had perfect, typing, grammar, all that good stuff. She just couldn't write the letters in a practical sense. Um, but then by the end of the episode, she managed to grasp Luculia's feelings, towards her brother about, everything that happened in a short and simple letter that made me tear up, and I loved it. And it was very emotional, and it was fantastic. And then Luculia's awesome was able to bring that letter to the teacher and get Violet to graduate. So that was very, very cool. I guess I didn't talk about how Luculia went to the teacher with that letter. That was very cool of her. She didn't have to do that, but she's such a good person. I can't believe I forgot to mention that in the discussion of last episode, but yeah, guys, we're moving on to episode 4. As you know, I have watched these episodes up until like episode 6 or 7, I think. I can't remember exactly where I left off, but I don't remember usually what happens going into these episodes until I start seeing a few things, and then some things refresh. But then, as we saw in the last episode, I forgot so much that I didn't even remember what the letter said and stuff like that. So yeah, let's jump into this episode and see what I forgot about this time. Alrighty, guys. So, as you know, we do timer-based reactions here. I'm watching this on Netflix. You guys can watch it on there too. You need your own footage. I will do a countdown. You guys can sync with me. And there will also be a little bit of footage in the corner, so that way it'll help you sync up. So, we are going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Netflix. I say it every time, I don't know why. A request. Uh, uh, her hometown. It's funny how I can remember small details like that, but other small details I can't remember. Everyone's gonna get lunch. But Violet just made tea for everybody, or at least for 2 people, apparently. Hmm. Nice. For some reason, I thought she was bitter about going home. I thought I remembered her being bitter about going home. Uh-oh. Violet, grab her. What happened? It's funny, if that was like at that little very at the beginning of the opening where the letters are coming up, if that spelt Violet in kanji, I'm not sure if it did. I don't know Japanese at all. I don't even know if Japanese calls it kanji. I just know that's one word for it or something. But either way, um, the it looked a lot like Violet. Like I feel like if I had to guess, that would be Violet. If I looked at it and tried to guess what it said based off appearance. But I also have the bias of knowing the show is called Violet Evergarden, so if I looked at it without ever hearing the words Violet Evergarden, maybe I'd just be like, that's gibberish. To me, anyway, obviously. Yeah, I guess I'd probably think that'd be... Okay, so it looks different in the background than it does there. I think the background is something else. Never mind. We never got to see what happened with her tripping. Uh... Uh... See... I feel like I remembered Violet going with her, but I did not remember that's why. So we didn't get to see the rest of the fall, but she hurt her hand in it. I'm guessing, is that from Violet grabbing her? Or did she actually fall and just land on her hand bad, but everything else is fine? Oh, who knows? Hmm, damn. Yeah. Kind of disrespectful thing a little bit to say. Yeah, in front of her. Yeah. Violet, god damn it. Violet doesn't understand the sentiment of... Hmm. Aw. That seemed like a pretty sharp turn for a train, but it might have just been like the angle and perspective. Like when it actually turned, it didn't look like it turned too quickly, but the when I looked at the track before that, it looked very sharp before the train got there. In the mud. She's just having a bad day, man. Her parents, her whole family. Violet. Damn it, Violet. Violet, stop! Oh. Man, they're just showing off with how beautiful this girl is with her bow, the wind. Oh. Is she a doll? That's my thought. She seems like a doll. Man, that sucks. Oh. Uh. Violet. Violet. Man. She's been too busy working. Yeah. Man. Everybody's so shocked when they see that. Hmm. So this is I remember there was a part of Iris not being too happy in this episode, and I guess this was it, you know. I remember now. Oh. No. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, Violet. Nice. Teamwork. Oh, they're just trying to be nice. Violet. Oh, it is very pretty. She's still wearing her medallion thing. Oh, at least her friends were, excited. Oh, oh, Violet, what a handsome man. Oh, hmm, Violet. Hmm, of course. Mother's intervention. Damn. Pushy mothers, man. They don't always understand, even though mothers always understand. Violet doesn't get it, man. Aw. Damn it, Violet, stop repeating it! Oh, this poor girl. God damn it, Violet. So direct. Even the rain in this area is beautiful. How dare they? Oh. Oh, it's so painful. Violet, you're so clueless. It's painful. Oh. She she told us early in the episode what she thinks an apology should be for. I never realized that came around like that in a way, you know. Her saying sorry really shows that she means it, but oh, such an honest confession from her right here. Oh, backstory. Man, that's always the worst, isn't it? Damn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this music. Uh, Man, there's so many people that are gonna know about her. It's gonna like I wonder if they're all gonna hear about the Major being dead. You know, there's so many that know now about why she wants to be an auto memory doll and stuff like that. And I imagine their reactions when everybody finds out. You know, you don't let up. Oh, Violet's learning a bit. Yeah, that's good. She's she's slowly grasping emotions a bit more. Oh, oh, oh no! Man, that'd be such a pain to pick up that giant stack of papers again. Oh, hmm. Oh, such a good letter. I do wonder how much of that was Violet's words and how much of that was her words. She stepped in mud again. Came full circle. Hmm. Okay. I'll hand you an invoice later. That will not be enough. Oh, Violet. Aww. What a good dad. I don't know flowers. Is there a flower called an iris? I feel like there might be. Oh, I know that name. Well, I guess iris is also like maybe not that spelling, but isn't that like part of your eye, right? I think the like the brown and blue colored part of your eye is like your iris, I think. And then your pupil's a little dot in the middle. I think. I don't know. Oh. She doesn't even really know, but yes, I was right. I've seen this before, but no, I actually forgot about that. Oh, pretty field of flowers. Ah, hmm. Damn. Ah, so she was named after a flower too. Damn. Wow. Wow. I actually really forgot about that part. I don't remember that bit at all. Wow. Alright. We'll watch these credits because this song is awesome. Yeah, man, that last bit. It's incredible how much I can forget. It's also partially, my own fault because see, reactions have done a wonder for me for my memory retention on shows because a lot of the times I feel like I need to sit here and do something. Like if I'm watching a show, and reacting helps because I'm talking during the show at certain parts, But when I'm watching shows on my own, I tend to just throw it up. I have two monitors, and I tend to just throw it up on my other monitor. And while I'm playing a game, I'll listen to it and every now and then look over and stuff. And I think it's harder for me to remember things that happen. So it's actually it's actually so good rewatching some of these where I just sit here and give all my attention to the show. Alrighty, guys, so that should be it. Yep. Alrighty, episode 4 is done, guys. Man, once again, a good episode. I actually think I liked the previous episode a lot more, but this one was good too. Um, it really it further shines a light on how Violet is slowly learning but still has a long way to go. After the previous episode where you see her actually, do good with a letter and understand it, it's easy to think like, oh, okay, so things should be different now, right? But the show is kind of telling us in a way that it's like, no, just because she did good in the previous episode, that doesn't mean she fully comprehends emotions and all that they involve, because emotions are such a complicated thing. If you like, there's even sometimes where I don't understand. Like I obviously feel emotions, just like most other people. Anyways, but there are some complex emotions that even I can't grasp. Like, it's gonna sound really weird to say, but sometimes even at funerals, I feel really awkward. Like, um, I don't know what the word for it would be. My grandfather, but he's kind of like my step grandfather, like my grandmother divorced and then remarried. And his side of the family, his dad died a little while back, about a year ago at this point. And when I went to the funeral, like, obviously I was sad. I knew him. He wasn't ever really like truly my great grandfather in a sense of like really getting to know him. Um I I went, and he had a pool. He was the only one in our family, on that side of the family anyway, to have a pool. So when I was younger, I used to go swimming there, in the summer a few times a year. And then we'd see him during like Christmas and a couple other holidays sometimes, but it wasn't something where like I feel like I'm a lot closer to like some of my other great grandparents that have passed away. But regardless of that, I'm going on a tangent here. When I was at the funeral, I was obviously sad, but I also like when we did this thing where like all their family members lined up and we walked past them, like, shook their hands or hugged them or whatever, and I didn't know like what to say. It was like such an awkward thing. Like, sorry for your loss seemed too simple, even though it's probably fine to say. And my grandfather like kind of made a joke when I went by him because I like hesitated when I said it, and he could like tell, and he started like making fun of me about it. But then he's like cracking jokes and like kind of laughing at something where I felt like he probably shouldn't. But then he's doing it, so then is it fine? There's just like certain times when emotions like that like baffle me. Um, I do feel like sometimes I have to think about how I should behave rather than it coming naturally, I guess, is like the summary of that. But either way, it's nice seeing that Violet is growing, but she still has a long way to go. As for Iris, like I said in the beginning of the episode, I do remember that she got angry at one part here. I forgot that she was tricked by her parents. She thought she had an actual client, but that does suck, you know, like it's like I don't know. I guess if I were to try to relate it to myself in my YouTube stuff, you know, since I don't have like a massive number of subscribers, when I get a new subscriber, I actually like get notified about it and I get excited. If I found out that like say I got like 10 new subscribers, I'm like, holy shit, like all at once. I'm like, wow, that's like a lot. That's incredible, you know. Um and then I found out that it's just like 10 family members like conspired to do this all at once under different names to like make me happy or something, you know. Um I would feel a bit let down too, you know. But um because for me like getting subscribers on YouTube it's weird. It kind of feels meta talking about this on YouTube, but for me getting subscribers on YouTube isn't about my number going up. It's about people that liked my content enough to actually hit the button, you know? If that makes any sense. It always like it makes me feel good that like I'm like this person likes me enough to actually subscribe and probably watch my other stuff. That's really cool. You know, like I don't know. It's I could almost care less about the number. Like each individual subscriber just makes me happy whenever I see it. But either way, I'm getting really off topic and making a lot of this stuff about myself. But yeah, Iris getting a letter or having to write letters for her parents, you know, you could tell that after she got off that initial disappointment, she was really happy to be home with her family. Even going through the struggles of you know, a boy being invited that she loved, confessed to, and was denied, you know, that's always rough. But I mean, I've definitely had that happen, so I know how that feels when you really get to know someone and you know them for like a very long time, and you know it's that joke that's been turned into a meme about like the friend zone, but you know there is a very real thing where you know you really get to know someone, you know, and you're with them. You're not with them, but you're friends with them for a very long time, and you try to push that relationship a little bit further, and they don't feel the same way. You know, it's like I like how real it was the way Iris talked about it because she was so sure that he felt the same way. And that's usually like at least in my experience a few times it has happened to me. I was pretty sure when I went and confessed my feelings, that kind of thing, you know. I was so sure that it was gonna be mutual, and then it's not, and you're like crushed. And then it seems like it also is very real in the fact that I don't think she really saw him much after that, you know, based off the way she didn't want him to come to the party and stuff like that. I don't think that she really got to spend any more time with them. Maybe a little bit after the fact, you know. But a lot of the times, relationships are kind of like awkward and slightly ruined after that. Not every time. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna subject that to be like a guarantee, you know. But you know, there have been several people that you know I knew very well, talked to them for a long time, and really got to know them and everything, and then confessed to them, and they rejected me, and then it just felt awkward. We still talked a bit, but it slowly like faded, you know, and it sucks. So I definitely feel Iris's you know emotions in this episode, but yeah, man. So it seems like Violet wrote the letter. The way they talked about it this episode, it does seem like it was Violet who actually like because we know Violet typed it because of her hand, right? I was thinking maybe she typed it using one hand because you could. It would take you a long time, but you could do it with the one hand. But no, it seems like Violet wrote it, but it also seemed to imply that Violet was the one that worded it too, you know. So once again, Violet's doing a bit better with writing her letters, even though she you know fully doesn't understand other emotional cues. But yeah, I like the episode. Like I said, didn't it doesn't hit me as hard as the previous one with Lucu- shoot, what was it? Luculia, was it? And her brother and everything. But yeah, it's just a good episode all around. Honestly, I don't really have much more to say. I I love these episodes, even though they some of them, granted, some of it is because I've seen it before, so like maybe I don't have as much to discuss because all my initial theories are out the window. But I'm still curious about Violet. You know, we had a little bit more of her when she's younger, getting her name from the major and stuff like that. So that was cool to see too. But I still wonder about Violet. You know, because as far as we've gotten, as far as I know, she's just a normal human who was maybe abandoned when she was really young to the point where she doesn't know her own name and stuff. But then there's also part where she was on the stage where people were like analyzing her like she's a item, you know, and they called her a tool, and it makes me wonder if she was created in a way to be a tool, you know, like I talked about in the first episode, kind of like a homunculus sort of thing, you know, bioengineered to like not feel emotions, to be like this perfect soldier. But I don't know, I kind of hope we learn more about that, but it's very possible she's just a human that, you know, was taken in by this, or like, I'm not gonna say kidnapped, but she wasn't treated right. So I don't want to say taken in. Taken in implies like you're treated well, in my opinion. But you know, the major's brother just found her, and you know, she was raised to be this tool, this soldier. So it could just be that, you know. But well, we'll see as the story progresses. I look forward to getting into episodes I haven't seen yet, but yeah, seeing Violet get her name kind of in the same way that Iris got hers, in a sense, and stuff like that was really cool. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed and you want to see more content from me. I very much appreciate it. Also, if you're not watching this on Patreon as a Patreon show, make sure you check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Morthadon, or the link is in the description below. If you are watching this on Patreon, I very much appreciate the support. But yeah, guys, once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye.